What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the In the Zone podcast. Your host, Brian Foster, here on this Wednesday evening. I hope you got your cocktails, your bottles of wine, your charcuterie trays, whatever little fancy shit you got going on out there in the streets, your fish and hot sauce. It don't matter. We take all kinds up in here. Hey, first and foremost, as we always start out, I hope everybody's being safe. World is opening back up. I know we all out and about a little bit more than we were before. Be cautious, be careful. COVID's still out there looking for you. But, get out there and get some sun. Nothing wrong with that. Today's topic, as we've already prefaced, and I know many of you all have been looking forward to, it's tough in these dating streets, especially when you get older. Your level of tolerance of bullshit sinks to all-time lows. Your options might decrease or increase. We're going to figure that out today with some of my guests. And goddamn, it's COVID. How do you date during this bullshit? So I got four of my peoples here today that's going to talk about their experiences of other folks they know. I'm sure they will encapsulate a lot of how you feeling and what you're thinking. I'll be checking the Facebook feed. So if you got any questions, commentary, I'll be shouting out for you. But anyway, let me introduce everybody. First, let me say what's up to my guy, TJ. You saw him, or you heard him, rather. This is before we were doing live videos. Heard him on the sports, In the Zone sports chat piece we did, like maybe 4 months ago, 3-4 months ago. TJ, what's up, brother? Welcome back.
What's up, man? Appreciate you having me, man.
Oh, no, I couldn't do this without you, my man. Then I got my guy from I-State, known this man a long time. Y'all know him. Y'all been in these streets. You've seen him before. What's going on, Danny?
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for the invite, D. Appreciate it.
No doubt, brother. Let's get it. Then I got my girl. She been riding with me for a minute. If you're on a Facebook page, you can see she a workout queen. She be having them crop tops on. I be looking. I ain't even gonna lie. My girl, Keisha, what's happening?
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me. This will be my first time, so I'm super excited.
That's right. These Danny and Keisha are neophytes. So be gentle, TJ and Jennifer.
Getting my cherry pop today.
Ooh, I'm sure. Well, I'll say that for later in the conversation. And then I got my girl. Y'all heard her before on the PWI HBCU conversation we had. And I know y'all know her. My girl, Jennifer Lee. What's going on, lady?
Just for the record, I'm on the golf course, guys. This is why I look like this, but hi.
Bougie ass. I'm on the golf course. I'm on the golf course. Anyway, golf dates. That could be dope. Anyway, hey y'all, it's an interesting time to be single in the world. It was before COVID. It definitely is now. We have these conversations all the time, on the gram and on Facebook and in real life conversations. Clearly, I don't have a whole lot I can throw out there at this point about it, but I know it's something, a lot of folks out there talking about. So I wanted to give everybody a chance to kind of come in, chime in, listen in, and see what some folks that are out there in this world, how they're navigating, how they're surviving, how they're striving. This might be a good time for some folks. I don't even know. We'll figure it out today. So anyway, let me get back to my questions real fast. I'm sorry I lost my little notes. Pull them back up. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go.
Glad I at least wore earrings out here. I didn't know your ass was gonna have me on camera.
Have we met? Hello, I'm Brian. Pleasure. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course I'm gonna have you on camera. All right. So how and where are you mostly meeting people now? Like, are you meeting them through mutual acquaintances? Before COVID, were you meeting them still out at the bars or the restaurants or the clubs, online? Which I have no clue how the fuck all that shit works, but I know it's a thing. How are you interacting with folks, especially right now during these crazy times we're in? Keisha, as the rookie, I'm gonna let you kick it off.
I think pre-COVID, definitely just being out, being social. Not that I was meeting a lot of people out, but I think that would have been my go-to. Definitely now, being in a pandemic and traveling for work, I was doing some online dating, which is very interesting to say the least. So pre-COVID, I started with some online apps and I met a few people, but like the people that I met probably right when we were about to go into quarantine, then it kind of went completely left. So obviously no one thought we would be quarantined for 4 or 5 months. And maybe at first it was fine. And I thought it would be a really good way to even just to get to know people without the physical. So I'm like, okay, this will be good. You know, you're able to like meet people and really get to know somebody. And then it just kind of dragged on and on and on. And, you know, some of the people I kept in touch with, but the majority of the guys that I met pre-COVID or right at the beginning of the quarantine definitely fell off.
What apps were you on? What apps do you use?
I did Hinge and Bumble.
See,
and then I have done Match before, like a while ago.
I'm the first time I'm ever hearing of Hinge. So see, you educate me. I don't know.
It's a newer app.
Okay. All right. Danny, what about you, brother?
I'd say before COVID, mostly would meet people out, bars, festivals, you know, get-togethers, what have you. COVID hit, definitely online, which it is interesting. I'm not a big fan of the online dating thing, but it seems like, you know, at this time, that's probably the main way that you can actually meet people. So it's been interesting, but mostly online, I would say.
What apps are you using?
Tinder, Bumble. I think that's it.
Facebook IMs?
Oh, Facebook too, yeah. Forgot about that one. You're right.
Jen Lee. Come on. I hear a story from you on your page almost every day, so I know you got some.
So you know, of course, there was pre-COVID. I hang out quite a bit, travel quite a bit, so that's how I would meet people. I have a couple of I call them my out of town boos, and then during COVID, I did some online dating too. You know, try to see what that's like. What I like about online dating is that it introduces me to a set of men that I would never have access to. They're typically transplants, blue collar. Like, where am I gonna meet like the bus driver? Like, where am I gonna meet them in my circle of friends? No, I mean, where am I? Seriously. So, so it's interesting. And younger men, I like younger men. So it gives me access.
How young?
So as I age, I increase my age limit. So now I would say about 35 too. But then also, you know, I decided I wanted to try older men. So I dated I went on a couple of dates with a guy that was 58. I've never dated anybody that old. So right now, what I would say is that my plate is full.
I have a question for Jen.
Dive in.
So you said you date younger men.
Yes.
When you're meeting, so I tend to attract younger men, but
how old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 43.
Okay.
But the majority of them usually will then say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore because I want kids. Does that ever happen to you? Like, are they?
No, because I go into it with, they know their station in my life. Okay. I'm done having kids. I'm 48.999. So that's never like a question. They know, like, we're not getting married. We're not falling in love. We're hanging out.
Okay. So just dating and hang out. Have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like a younger guy. They're perfect.
And why are they perfect? Do tell.
Very energetic, very enthusiastic. I just find that when like there's less bullshit, they want to please you. They're amenable.
Sounds like a puppy.
But I don't know. They're just a lot of fun, and it's not all that the ego that you deal with the 48-year-old who thinks that if you are in a sexual relationship with him, you're gonna fall in love. And I mean, some women may, but I'm just not in a space where, you know, I'm married young. I was married for a long time. Like, love is not what I'm not, I don't want to be your wife. And I try to tell men that, but they never believe me. Like, I don't want to be your wife. I'm not trying to have your babies.
So
But men don't believe that.
They not falling in love with you?
They are, and then they be like, what? And I'm like, no.
See, I know that happens. I'm
It
totally
does. It does.
Because I've gone into it with that same mentality too, and it just no.
But I find that mentality works to my favor, so I'm gonna keep it. And if they fall in love, hate it for you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you tell these guys this up front?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it's on them then. They should understand.
And so that's why I always say when men say, "Oh, women get attached," I turn it around and say, "Well, men get attached too," because they do.
Absolutely. Particularly when I think men are very territorial and hunters, obviously. And when somebody tells you something like, "Oh, I'm never gonna fall in love with you," blah 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 blah. One, that's a challenge, and two, when it doesn't happen, then it's kind of like, wait, hold on, this is out of the norm. This is different, and it's, you know, it might turn them on a little bit. But TJ, we never circled back to you, brother. How you meeting people?
All right, so pre-COVID, it was a combination of things. I was always taught, like, if I'm in the market, then I need to be putting as many irons in the fire as possible. So I meet a lot of people out and about. I meet people on dating apps, and I mean, my DMs be active sometimes on Facebook as well. So just all across the board there. But since the pandemic has set in, it's been pretty much exclusively online dating, and I use all the apps. I'm Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. Again, I got all the irons in the fire. And but man, like, honestly, a lot of past love interests have popped back up. The ghost of Coochie Pass has definitely been circling back into a brother's inbox and text messages and so on and so forth. So it's a combination of everything, man.
Ghost of Coochie
That's
Pass.
funny.
That's hilarious.
I'm stealing that. Ghost of Big Pass.
For the guys, because we know what Jen's dating for fun, are you guys dating with intention for like a relationship, or is it just more have fun, kicking it, intention, or just fun?
That's a good lead in, Keisha. That was my next question. How has dating changed as you've gotten older? You know, and not only your intentions, but how you date and what you're looking for and all that type of stuff.
I guess I would say I'm open to everything. You know, it's dependent upon the person and the vibe we get. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna shy away from a relationship if it presents itself, right? But I got needs, and I'm gonna fulfill those needs. If we vibe on a physical level, then we can explore that and see where that takes us ultimately.
Dan?
What do you think, Dan?
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I think I like to ask this up front. You know, what are you looking for? You know, I mean, the ultimate goal for me probably would be a relationship down the line, but you tell me what you want to do. You know, and you know, you'd be surprised online. You know, you see a lot of women are like, no, I really don't want to hook up, but you get that a lot. I mean, you'd be surprised. So I always go into it like, just tell me what you want to do. You know, like, are you trying to do this or not? You know, I'm not judging you. Just let me know what you want to do, and we can go from there. That's how I look at it.
Wait, I saw TJ shaking his head vehemently when Danny said you'd be surprised. What exactly would you be surprised about, brother? Go into a little bit more depth about that.
It would be you'd be surprised because, I mean, online dating is interesting. Like, you'll read the profiles. I do not want this. I'm not trying to hook up. I don't want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then you meet, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? This is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it just throws you off. Like, okay, well, your profile said this, and you pretty much want to hook up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I ain't mad at you. I mean, if that's what you
think
want to
that
do, just tell me up front.
Tinder is strictly, well, what my daughter told me, and I don't know, but from what I understand, Tinder is strictly a hookup website. I mean, a hookup site. That's where you go on if you just want to have sex.
No, they're all the same. They're all the
It
same.
don't
Because the
matter.
thing is,
It
a
don't
lot
matter
of the
the
same
platform.
women are on the same websites. You see the same people.
Ah,
Crazy.
okay.
I will say Hinge, I believe, is the best app. If you're looking for a partner, I think Hinge is the best one because that algorithm, they'll start to tell you who you're most compatible with. And I can honestly say 90% of the women that I've met on Hinge that they tried to pair me with told me that I was most compatible with, we were at least cool.
Yeah,
Like, they do a really good job of that.
Hinge is good. I agree.
So download Hinge.
All right.
I
there
thought
you go.
Hinge was only for the
Right.
under 30s. Are you guys dating women under 30?
No, I'm not.
No,
TJ?
it's definitely a good age range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under 30.
So fellas, do you have an age cutoff?
I hope not, guys.
I do. Yeah.
What's your age? And by cutoff, I mean too young.
Actually 36.
Okay, nobody under 36.
I'm 46. I have a 10-year rule. It usually works well. 36.
Okay. TJ, you got any restrictions on age?
Okay, so
No, he
when
doesn't.
when we talk about age restrictions, what are we talking about?
We're
Exactly do you
Oh,
mean?
wow.
not talking about no R. Kelly shit. What I'm saying is, is there a cutoff where you say if you're, and not that you're like asking for ID to see how old these people are, but typically if they're under 30, there's no way you could even rock with them. Or if they're under 35, or if they're under 21, I mean, whatever.
I don't do under 27. 27 is probably the cutoff. I'm 40.
Okay.
Makes sense. I'm 46.
Why you get that face down there? What's all that judgment going on down there?
What's up,
I
Ted?
have a young face. I have a young face, so I attract younger women.
That's young, TJ.
Well, Keisha, when I was 42, I had an under 30. You can play around. I mean, it doesn't hurt you.
Hey,
I
whatever.
think when you're 40, like that 38 to 40 is like that perfect age where you can go older, you can go younger, you can go right around your age. The world is your playground at that point. Maybe 21 is too young, but 25 and up, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies. So how has age changed how you perceive dating, the things you're looking for, the people you go out with, that type of stuff? Keisha?
I think, as we just mentioned, definitely trying new avenues like online dating. I don't think I would ever have tried that. So the older I get, I'm like open to, trying new things. I'm definitely more aware, I feel like, of what I want and don't want. So as you get older, you're kind of like, what your deal breakers are. You're like, and when you hear that, or when you talk to somebody, you kind of already are like saying, well, I think this may work, or let's not waste each other's time. Let's just we can be friends, or maybe, but this isn't going to work. But I also feel like when in dating and just talking to my friends, and even maybe in some, like, there's a little less compromise because people are so already stuck in their own ways. Like the older you get, you're kind of like, I like my space. If you're in a relationship that's like moving towards something that's a little more stable, or maybe, maybe y'all are looking to get married or whatever, you're kind of like, well, I don't want to move over there. And he's like, well, I don't want to move over here. And you're kind of like really comfortable in where you're at. So that it takes a lot more compromise than normal when you're maybe not, not of age or in your 40s. So I think that those are some of the things that I've kind of encountered as I've gotten older in dating.
Tell me more about these deal breakers.
I don't really necessarily have a lot of deal breakers, but I feel like you just know what you want in a relationship. Like just from being in prior relationships. So I feel like with me, I'm very social and I have a lot of friends. I'm outgoing. If we're dating, you can't be like an insecure or jealous person. And I've had that happen in a past relationship. If you're uncomfortable with me, having male friends and or, being social and being out, it probably wouldn't be a good relationship for you. Because those are just things that I do. And I work in marketing. I have to be social. Not saying that it's something that I love. I feel like I'm a mix of an extrovert and introvert, but it's something that I've had to learn to do, and I do it very well. So if you're jealous or insecure, it's not going to be the right relationship for you with me.
Okay. See, that's fair. I was waiting on that. You got to be 6'4", 6-figure dude type shit.
No, I mean,
Yeah, that's probably in there somewhere too, though.
I'm talking to the wrong one for that. I'm sorry, Jennifer. Holla at me.
So no, you're actually wrong. So like I mentioned, I actually take a lot of breaks from dating. I love my peace. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I run away. I would say I've been in 2 serious relationships since I've been divorced. And my peace, one night I laid in bed and I went online and I just bought a bunch of stock. I don't know, I think I spent about $2,000. And I was like, you know what, if I had a husband, I would have had to discuss this shit. And I don't want to discuss what I do with my money anymore. And I don't know if I'll get to a point where I want to discuss what I do. Or like 2 years ago, I went to Africa for 2 weeks on a whim. I bought a ticket and I left like 3 days later. And my guy friends were like, if you had a man, you would have had to, and I was like, you know what? I am not in a space. So every year I ask myself, do you want to go to Africa or do you want a boyfriend? And every year Africa wins. So I don't know when there's going to be a time where I want to give up doing shit like that. That time has not come up. I feel like I lived most of my life for my children or being a wife, and I am not ready to compromise any of that to be with a man. So a man really has to be with me on my terms, and my terms is when I feel like being bothered, and that's very rare.
Mm.
Damn. Okay. Let me ask this. Diverge off the topic a little bit since Jen brought it up. Yeah, hey fellas, y'all heard that? That's a wild stallion. We need to tame him. So, Keisha, I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask. Have you ever been married?
I'm not.
Okay, so I know the 4 of us, the rest of us, have been married and gone through a divorce. How has that changed how you guys date? Jen already kind of has said, you know, she got married early and had kids early, and now she's kind of doing her thing. Danny, how has it kind of changed your lens?
Ooh, yeah, it makes you look at things differently. I mean, I would say I'm still fairly new to being divorced. I've only officially been divorced for a little over a year. So being out in the dating game, you learn a lot. It's different. It's different than, my early 30s. You see so many things. I mean, so much is different. And I actually just have to learn to adapt a little bit. And I've been learning how to adapt to how things work. I mean, there's so much is like online. So much is it's online, like everything, whether it's a dating site or Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or what have you.
But not only
connected
online,
there.
the bullshit associated with it being online. Why did he like your picture? I saw that he liked
A lot of that
other
shit.
pictures.
Yeah, a lot of
I
that.
ain't got time for that bullshit. Get off my page with that shit.
Yeah, like I actually went out with somebody and
Like
a lot of that shit.
pictures.
Yeah, a lot of
I ain't
that.
got time for that bullshit. Get off my page.
Oh, who's got somebody got their Facebook on. I hit
Oh, not me.
you got to turn that down because there's a delay.
Yeah, I've had that on Facebook where I actually went out with somebody and I didn't clear shit out from all those years. So I still have pictures of ex-wife and what have you. I mean, just it's years of shit. And you just the stuff you hear like, why don't you just delete all these pictures and all this and all that? And I'm like, damn, it's Facebook. It doesn't even
First
mean
of all, that's part of my history. That history don't go with this date now.
Right.
I'm not deleting shit. Like whatever. You know?
TJ, how's it affected your lens?
Well, I think my situation is a little different. I've been single since my marriage ended in 2008. So I've been single for a while. I mean, I've been in a relationship since then and things like that, but I got married real young and then got back in the game young enough where I wasn't out of touch. You know what I mean? I did a lot of traveling. and things like that. So it was a little different for me. And I mean, if we keep it in a buck, I was living like I was single when I was married. So it wasn't a hard adjustment for me. And I'm not trying to make light of it. That's just the truth.
Reality. Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't a hard adjustment for me, but I think now as I've gotten older, you know, like Jen said, I value my peace. I value my me time. You know what I'm saying? So unless you're going to enhance that, I don't want to be bothered. So I like to get up. I like to travel, just like Jen said. Like, I want to be able to do the things that I want to do on my terms. And if you're going to impede me from doing that, then I ain't got time for you at all.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Keisha, when you, I'm sure in your dating journeys, you've run across a divorced guy or two. Have you ever dated one seriously, or do you see that as an added hurdle that you haven't been able to get over?
No, I think for me, if someone's been divorced, that is not a bad thing, because I feel like they were able to make a commitment. For me, I'm looking for a relationship. So I think that means that they've made a commitment before, and they might not be that afraid to actually be in a committed relationship. My last relationship, which was about years, like 2.5 years, was a divorcee, and had kids, but he had older kids, and he was financially stable to a point where it didn't impede anything that we wanted to do. So we were able to travel, we were able to do what we wanted to do. I think one of the things that a lot of the times that I look for too in a man is that I'm, like you said, very health conscious. And so while the person doesn't have to be as extreme as me, I can't be getting up and going to the gym every day or eating, pretty healthy, and you're like a plug, so that's something that like I tend to look for. Like when you're saying like being picky, I think that probably is the most picky thing for me. Now, you don't have to be like me, because like you said, I'm super extreme. Right now I'm competing for a bikini competition. I ain't had a drink in like 4 months, but I'm not in that.
Damn, during COVID?
Yeah, during COVID.
I think I got the guy for you though. I got the guy for you. We're gonna chat after this.
Don't believe that shit.
I swear.
So
don't listen to Brian.
But I mean, B, you know me, when I'm not, in training, I have fun. I eat out. I love nice restaurants. I cook very well, and I have my drinks. So this is the extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't. At this age, 9 times out of 10, I don't find men that haven't been divorced or have kids. That's I mean, if I do, I think it's kind of like they look at me the same way I look at them, like, well, what's wrong with you? It's not fair. It's not fair, because really there's nothing wrong with me. I've been engaged. It didn't work. I didn't want to be, a baby mama. So I chose not to have kids. It's pretty easy. I practice safe sex, right?
Yeah.
So those are things that I feel like I tend to run into. I'm not against dating a divorcee. I definitely, obviously, date him, because it's very rare to find someone in their 40s that doesn't have kids. That's like unicorn, right?
I agree.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So what do you guys find to be the advantages of dating right now? That, you're not in your 20s, you're not in your 30s, things have shifted and changed. What do you find to be the advantages right now at the stage you're in life? Danny?
I'd say
shut up, people behind you, shut their ass up, all that noise.
I know. Listen, guys, I'm on a Zoom call.
They're probably like,
y'all just, sorry, no offense.
Do you know them, by the way?
No.
Even better. Go ahead, D.
You know what? I'd say one of the biggest advantages is at this stage in life, you should probably know what you want if you're seeking a relationship. You know what I mean? You should know that at this point. Mm-hmm. I think one of the other advantages is being a guy in your 40s. If you're not a total bum, we outnumber.
Oh, here we go.
It's true.
Hey, Jennifer, this is facts, Jennifer. Jennifer, these are facts.
It's true. It's probably more.
You cannot argue math, Jennifer. It just is what it is.
We didn't make this shit up.
Keisha, that's why you go younger. You don't care how old they are.
That's fine. I mean,
Oh, we're not talking to you right now. We're talking to Danny. Shut up.
whatever floats your boat. That is a big advantage, you know. But even with that being an advantage, I mean, you go on a lot of dates, and you know, sometimes you got to go through a lot of bad apples, and it doesn't work out, what have you. But that is, I'd say, that's the biggest advantage of if you're a decent dude. I mean, there's no excuse why you can't get a date.
Get a date. See how he said that? Get a date.
There's
That's all
no
I'm
excuse
talking
why
about.
you cannot get a date. Open your
Get a
mouth.
date.
Open your mouth. Say something.
Take a young lady out to dinner or for a cocktail. That's what he's talking about. See?
Get a date.
Get a date.
That's right.
Get a date. Now, Daddy, you mentioned bad apples. I wanna touch on that for a hot second. What makes a young lady a bad apple at this point?
You know, maybe I shouldn't have said bad apple.
Nope, too late. You already did. Put it out there.
No.
Let us hear
But he's
it.
like, yeah, what's a bad apple?
No, what I've run across a lot is, and don't take offense to ladies in their 40s, but it's a lot of damaged ladies out here. You know,
Whenever you start with don't take offense, they take an offense.
they're gonna take offense. Of course. There's a lot of damaged ladies, and a lot of times it's not their fault. You know, relationships went bad, whatever. Fuck it. And a lot of that, they'll put that off on you. You know, so I've ran into that a lot with women around my age. And so sometimes I'm like, damn, maybe I got to go down to 35 or whatever. Maybe they're not going to be as beat up and have as many scars.
Have to hop in.
Look, look at that shit.
I'm not offended because I don't have.
Thank you. Don't be
If it
offended.
don't apply to you, then don't be offended.
I have a lot of friends.
Men is that there's a lot of toxic men too. Like, don't always.
I agree.
Thank
There's
you,
a lot of
Kissy.
toxic men. I
Thank
agree
you.
with
Don't have daddy issues. Look, I had
agree.
two parents, but it's a lot of toxic men. Just
I
literally
agree.
the other day, I had a man that I used to date who I was fully ready to be in a committed relationship with me tell me, I like you and we could have made it work, but I have issues. And instead of getting his issues fixed, like maybe going to counseling or something, which there's nothing wrong with going to counseling, he chooses to live in this toxic box and won't get the help that he needs. So I'm not offended, Danny, and I do agree with you. There are a lot of toxic women and bad apples.
I agree with you too. There's a lot of
toxic men,
dudes. Absolutely.
or men with mommy issues, or
Absolutely.
men with daddy issues. They're
Yeah.
all out there.
I agree.
Nobody's saying that's untrue. Danny was speaking his truth though.
Right.
Get my
I get
truth.
it. I get it. I mean, I got some crazy friends. I totally get it.
TJ, how's it changed for you as we creeped up there?
I've become more patient for sure. A lot more patient, maybe too patient, to be honest with you. But I also have the ability to identify bullshit and things that I don't want very early on. So I can cut it off real quick because I identify these things and I know what doesn't work for me. So if I know what doesn't work for me in the beginning, then I can get myself out of there unscathed before I get myself deeper and deeper into it. So while I'm more patient and more willing to take the time to really get to know someone before I jump into something, I can also tell right off the bat, and I trust my energy to tell me like, hey, this ain't for you. You need to get up out of here. Abort mission and quit. The third eye be blinky, and if you let me know she's crazy, feeling like the responsibility for her actions, accountability does not apply to her. Those are just things that work for me. And I know these things right off the bat, and when I see it, I'm out.
All right, so that radar is stronger, no doubt. Jen,
Yes, sir.
as you traverse dating in your 40s, and so what's the advantages? What advantages do you see right now as a 40-plus-year-old woman in these streets?
I would, similar to them, just not putting up with bullshit. I definitely know what I want. I definitely know what I'm not putting up with. I jokingly always say when I get off the phone with some man, I need to be nicer, but then I say, no, can't be nicer. I think that it's also interesting because I read a lot of books, And as a result, you know, I'm kind of psychoanalyzing people based on my little, like I read this book called Attached, and it talks about your attachment style and then how you communicate based on your attachment style. And it takes into account how you were raised and all that. So anyway, you know, I was raised in a good 2-parent home, and it just demonstrates when we talk about damaged people, sometimes, and I worried about that going through a divorce, like how am I fucking up my kids? But there's some fucked up people out there, and you see that when you're dating and you run into them. And during COVID, what I saw, you know, we struggled a lot during COVID. Like at first during COVID, like I was like, oh, I don't have to go to work. I just started drinking a lot. Like every day I was getting fucked up. Then I was like, okay, listen, you can't do that. Like this is not healthy. But I found like some of the guys that I was talking to pre-COVID, they struggled and never found a way to make it through COVID heavily. So one guy that I was dealing with actually, you know, got into like an alcohol problem. And, you know, I told him I understand the struggle, but, you know, we ain't married, so I can't deal with you and your alcoholism, you know, like dig deep, brother. Like what you got to do, you know? So,
hit me after your 13 steps or whatever that shit is. You cold.
Right,
That's
right,
cold.
right.
That's cold, Jennifer.
My patience is short. I will tell you. I don't tolerate a lot of shit. I don't know. I'm having a good time, and if the time is not good, then I will happily say goodbye.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Keish, what's the advantages? That was a long pause, young lady.
I don't know. I mean, the pool does definitely get smaller, but I think I have to kind of agree with and tag off of TJ. And I think I mentioned this earlier, you know, just saying like you definitely are just more aware of what you want and you're able to kind of sift through the bullshit. I think initially when you're a little bit younger, you might put up with a little more than you would normally now, just to maybe have a little more fun or whatever the reason may be, but you're definitely more aware and able to just say, I don't think this is going to work. So I think that's definitely an advantage. But I don't know if there's that many advantages of dating at 40 or over 40. I will say this though, I feel more comfortable like in maybe dating before. As I was younger, I might compromise, you know, some of my characteristic traits that I knew were me, but I might say, well, if this is what he wants, then maybe I'll act that way. In my 40s, look, this is who I am. Not to say that if I'm just being a straight asshole, but like there's certain things that I like because I've worked hard for them, or, you know, this is what I want to do. And I'm able to sit in that now in my 40s when I'm dating, and I'm not going to really.
Look, Brian, we lost Brian, y'all. So let's just like wow out.
Oh, Brian, oh, shit.
How does the host fall out, y'all?
Oh, there he is.
How you doing, bro?
And Jamal was talking about my internet connection.
I just told him, I said, we're going to get on here since and you muted, Brian. I said, we just going to, since you dropped off, we just going to like curse and act a fool on your page.
Shit, do it. I don't give a fuck.
Like, when does he care if people wild out? Have you seen?
You know what? Oh my God.
I give less than a fuck. Let's go. I'm sorry, Keith, you were talking. Maybe you finished up while I dropped.
Yeah, just saying. I think one of the advantages that I am able to feel more comfortable in who I am when I'm dating, and it's kind of like this is who you're gonna get, and if not, then oh well.
All right, that's what's up. What's beautiful is I dropped and it stayed recording and we stayed live, so we good. I love that shit. Zoom, salute. All right, so we talked about the advantages. You all have laid them out. Keisha said ain't many, but we gonna move. So that leads me to what are the disadvantages of dating at this age? Oh, good Lord, the heavy sigh already?
Who did that?
That was Jennifer. Jennifer, whose plate is full. And now she has a million disadvantages. So go on, Jennifer, start us off since you're breathing all hard.
Men with small children, I had to just make a whole blanket rule. I'm not dating men with children.
Small children. What's the age cutoff?
Children under 12. I don't date men whose children can't stay home by themselves.
I'm fucked.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I like my kids are gone. Like I want to get on the plane and your ass got this is your weekend with your kid. Like no, I don't want to
I
hear.
forget I'm a good daddy.
I
That's some
don't want to fucking
bullshit.
hear about your little kid's soccer game and shit.
agree
I've
with
I
done
want
all
you to
of
come to
that.
the soccer game. I want you to bring some pom
No,
poms.
you're not, because your baby mama gonna be like,
I don't give a fuck about that hoe.
no,
You know you
no.
gonna
So I don't.
gonna be like,
I
you ain't
don't date. I don't date men with small kids. I've also found that, like, so when I was at the driving range a couple of weeks ago, I met a guy. I started learning about stocks during COVID, and I made some money off. So I call them my Corona stocks. I bought all the Corona stocks, and I've made some money. There's some opportunistic men out here. You know, they'll call you and be like, so, you in pharmaceuticals and my mama need this diabetic drug. Can you I've had men ask me for money.
Oh, wait,
Stock
money for what?
tips,
Wait. Why they ask? What were they asking for? I mean, like,
money for a cell phone bill.
I'll beat your ass.
you are lying.
Swear to God.
Come on, man.
And I said, my job pays my cell phone bill. Like, I'm not paying your cell phone bill. So
Wow.
when you talk about like over 40 men, a lot of times over 40 men have been through divorces and they have small kids or have kids that they're financially supporting, and as a result they have a lot of financial obligations and their money is funny. And I don't have time for funny money. I don't do funny money. And so, you know, I met one recently. Next thing I know, he's telling me, you know, he's sleeping on the couch, and I'm like, dude,
Wait, he's sleeping on the couch. I don't know what that
sleeping
means.
on a friend's couch, like he doesn't
Oh,
have
shit.
a home.
What happened? Why doesn't he have?
Right, what?
Because he got divorced and his wife got the house and he didn't get a house. He
couldn't
didn't get
an
a
apartment?
place.
See,
Yeah, he could
Listen.
get an apartment.
Listen,
maybe he has a lot of child support. I don't know. Shit.
exactly.
That
That's
shit
my
gets expensive.
point. That is my point. And
You should
so
give
when
him a
you're
chance.
dealing with men who are still financially supporting their children, you run into funny money. And so that's why it's best to deal with men with either grown kids or no kids.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
All righty.
That's a tough piece. That's a lot. That's a lot. TJ, disadvantages.
a lot.
Man, whew, I don't even know how I follow that. I would say disadvantages would be ain't many disadvantages for me, man.
My man's out here winning.
Right.
Winning.
They say he got all his irons in the fire, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the disadvantage would be women not knowing what they want. You know what I mean? Like, and that's across the spectrum, from the younger women that I date to the older women that I date. They say they want one thing, and as Danny alluded to earlier, it'll be completely different once you meet them. You guys can have a conversation, but as soon as emotion gets factored into it, all bets are off. They can change what they said that they wanted at the drop of a hat. And for me, that's hard for me to deal with. I need balance. I need stability. I need somebody who's on.
TJ definitely has that Boost Mobile.
Uh-oh, we
Internet.
lost you, brother. We lost you, TJ. I mean, we see you, but we can't hear you. We'll come back to you. We'll circle
Boost
back.
Mobile.
We'll circle back. Keish.
Metro PCS.
You know, from a disadvantage, I think I have to go bounce back to like the whole judgment thing about like why you haven't been married or having kids and just those kind of questions. Obviously,
You get that? Let me hold on. Side, not the parking lot. That I want to talk about that. So, are you getting that from the guys you're dating? Like they're asking, "Why?" I mean, there's a difference between asking, "Wow, you're amazing. I can't believe you haven't been married," and
It's
"What the fuck is
university.
wrong with you? Why haven't you been married?" So, we're getting more of the latter. Wow. Okay.
like, what's wrong with you? You seem like a nice person, but you gotta be something wrong with you. Never- Like, really? How about I'm responsible?
Right.
You know, things like
God
that.
forbid. Okay.
And then I think the other thing is just a lot of men are afraid of commitment. Like, they haven't been.
Afraid of commitment.
I've had them tell me that after the fact. I've had that. I've kind of gotten it through conversations that we've had. That they're just, you know, afraid of the commitment. Like they'll do all the work up until then, and then it was really time to like really, you know, kind of lay it on the line. They're like, like they're running. Those are some of I feel like those are some of the disadvantages. Other than that, I mean, I don't think it's changed that much, you know, from a disadvantage standpoint. I think that kind of like is in the 30s and the 40s. I don't know if it's changed that much in my 40s.
I'll figure out another disadvantage, B.
Tell me about it, brother.
Okay, so one of the disadvantages, especially in the dating app era, is too many options. So everybody's always swiping or looking for the perfect match as opposed to the perfect match for them in that moment, right? So you can meet somebody and that person can go on y'all can find a level, but the moment there's a little bit of conflict, everybody's back swiping again, looking for somebody who doesn't, rather than ride out that ways, they were jump ship and try to find some.
Yeah.
Kind of like cancel culture, TJ. Is that what you're saying? You breaking up, TJ?
You got to get closer to the window, TJ.
Froze on us again, bro. Yeah. So TJ, yeah, he was saying that basically, that too many options. And I'll circle this back to a conversation I had a couple of years ago on Facebook that just popped up in my memories. Are you back, bro?
Well, his face is still frozen though.
Yeah, we'll get him back. So I had created a post where I said the reason the divorce rates are where they are and how they are for Black African American folks was because women got jobs and degrees into the workforce. So not to say they shouldn't have and they couldn't have and they shouldn't be killing it. My theory was that because our grandparents, our grandmoms, our great grandmoms had minimal options to get out in this world and fend for themselves, right? So they had to deal with grandpa's bullshit. They had to deal with great grandpa's bullshit. And it might have been having a whole nother family in Arkansas type bullshit. And it might just been he ain't take the garbage out bullshit. But the small bullshit got worked through because you didn't have options to leave and really get anywhere else and be self-sufficient because that's how society was set up. Agree or disagree? What TJ I think is saying is that, with dating, and you for whatever reason are not checking all these boxes I thought you should check. I can jump right back on Bumble. I can jump right back on Tinder and keep swiping until I find this perfect guy that probably doesn't exist, but you're not willing to sit down and really put in the work it takes to make a relationship work. And any relationship you in, be that a friendship, be that a dating relationship, be that a familial relationship, takes work. I want to beat the shit out of my cousins every now and again, but I love them, so I don't. But I deal with, we work through that shit because I love them because they family. And that goes for romantic relationship as well. And I think, TJ, what you're saying is folks don't want to put in that work because they got too many other options out here to jump out there and try to find the next best thing.
Exactly. As soon as there's a little bit of conflict, they back to swiping.
Is that women though, TJ, or is that just men?
No, it's men too.
No, I think it's just men. I don't think it's women. I think women are willing to put in a little bit more work.
No,
that's
bullshit. I'm not even dating, but I got plenty of female friends. I've heard them say, "My man took me on a coffee date instead of a real date when I met him. He's out of there." I was like, "Well, what was he like on the date?" She's like, "Oh, no, he was kind of cool and cute, but I don't play that game." What the fuck are we talking about?
Women don't do that. Women are the biggest offenders of it.
No, I feel like women, as women, I feel like we put in the work. Like we're the last to throw in the towel.
No, that's because y'all got the emergency dick in the glass over there. So the moment that I mess up, you just gonna go back to fucking with that dude.
We absolutely do.
can't be in a relationship with, but y'all have bond sex with. That's what it's toxic.
They do have no. First off, they're not emergency coochie. They still fucking a chick. They ain't let the chick go in the first place.
Here we go. This is where we going. Let's get it.
They didn't let the chick. They are not letting that chick go until they are 100% certain that your ass is it. And one little small mistake. I'm so happy I kept her. This is why I'm still fucking her, because of your ass.
Men made up the it's complicated.
Oh my God. Entanglement. Men made up entanglement.
Oh my God.
Y'all did.
Bullshit.
We didn't make that shit up.
But
I tell you what, we perfected that shit. That's the difference.
No, here's the difference, Jennifer. Here's the difference. I'm gonna tell you the difference. Women like to say that shit. Let me tell you the difference. The reason men get caught up in more bullshit is because men are in more bullshit. It's strictly a numbers game. You aren't better at it. You just do it less. So you're less likely to get caught. And Jennifer, let me put this. Yes, and let me put this out. On percentages you do, and let me put this out there as well. You're dealing with dudes. So if I'm at a party, most times, I'm not all dudes, but a lot of dudes. If I'm at a party and I got a little chick I'm hanging out with, I know she got a man, and we all wind up at the same party, I'm not fucking being all emotional and tripping on it. I'm with my boys like, yeah, the man don't even know. And we good. You all, on the other hand, are like, with this girl. And y'all are the ones that blow up the spot. And that's why we get caught up in bullshit, because y'all blow up the spot, because you can't handle your emotions.
Sober I can. Now, if you catch me
I'm
drunk,
not saying all.
it's
This
a
is not a
wrap.
blanket. This is not a blanket 100%. I'm just saying, if we play in the percentages, a woman is more likely to blow a dude's spot up than a man is a woman's. Now, some might, but percentage-wise, we more likely to be like, as long as I keep hitting, I'm good.
That's why you have so many men out here killing a woman and then killing themselves. Get your ass out of here.
I'm not saying that ain't true. I'm saying it's some crazy motherfuckers out there to do that shit. I'm saying percentage-wise, shut up. We just watched the video a million times of a girl trying to blow a nigga car up, and she fucking flew it down. So we know.
I ain't see that.
That shit anyway.
You missed it. That's a good ad. That's great.
Let me ask this though, since we done took the cap off finally, we didn't got real with it for a hot second. So sexually, women are at their peaks in their 40s. Men peak in their 18 or late teens, early 20s. Sexually, how are you finding these streets single at this age? Keisha, I'm gonna start with you because you've been quiet for a little bit now.
You said, how am I finding what?
Sexually, you're in your prime.
I am in my prime.
We are not at the same age.
Yeah, I know.
How are you navigating that? I'll put it that way.
The last guy that I dated, seriously, he was older than me, and he had a very high sex drive, so I was fine. But the younger guy that I dated, he could not handle it. He was like, bitch, again. So
I get a bologna sandwich and a Gatorade. Damn.
more sex, and he was like, you doing too much. I don't think that in my age I've had the sex part. I haven't had issues with, like, that's not a problem at all, period. But it's not just my 40s. I've always had a high sex drive, so that's just like my thing. Maybe it's
shit. Your DMs are ringing as we speak. I already
right. You won't be single for long.
Hey, I'm on Bumble right now trying to find your profile.
TJ say you're on Bumble trying to find your profile.
He about to swipe right.
Like TJ said. Let me weed through, okay?
Danny, which we not in our primes. We got tricks in the bag. What you thinking?
Danny, what's wrong?
Man, fuck this question. Go to TJ.
Hey,
I don't know who's watching this shit.
I understand exactly what is this streaming on my page too?
It should be. Your tag.
I hope not.
Okay,
Let
yeah.
me go to my
I'm gonna
page.
incriminate myself. I'm good. My sexual appetite is fine.
Your tag. So if you're open to people posting on your page, it's definitely on your page.
I plead the fifth like Danny. I'm not speaking on this topic.
The fifth. I love my boys. I knew y'all was gonna do that. Jennifer,
Huh?
Huh? Huh?
So we are at our peak. This is what I wanted to do my podcast about, and talking about women in our sexual peak in our 40s. It's like the greatest thing in the world. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's what I would say first. I just think that with women, you just need to have more than one option and you'll be fine.
Wait. Who? You got to have more than one option?
What are we talking about? Really?
She said women need more than one option.
Have multiple dicks on rotation. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I don't feel like there's to be an issue with a woman walking around unsatisfied. No woman should feel that way. My vagina. I can use it when I want to.
Gotcha.
So you need two guys for that?
Huh?
You need two?
At the same time?
No.
Like
Two
threesome?
different guys.
I mean,
Why can't you just
there's nothing wrong with
to
that.
do the job?
No, absolutely not.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know.
No,
That's
not that
fine.
there's anything wrong with that. I know people that do that, but I've never done that. No.
Do you?
But you know, I mean, you are you monogamous?
Come again?
Are you monogamous?
Right.
Oh, me.
Basically what she's saying
when
is,
I'm in a
don't you-
relationship, I'm monogamous, of course.
Right.
She's saying right now, do you have a pussy rotation? Basically, is what she's asking.
Again, I plead the fifth, man.
Right, and that's just the best way. That's the best way to go. That, you know, this is trending live on Facebook, where my mother and my children are watching.
Your mother and your children already know you a hoe. They ain't no shock here.
No, I'm not actually. I have long-term sexual entanglements.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we gonna move off that. We're gonna move off that one. So everybody's still kind of navigating. We touched on this a little bit, but I want to get a little bit more specific. COVID's here. It's not going anywhere. We're not having any treatments or vaccines. Although I did hear Russia has some joint out right now. But anyway, we're not having anything for a little while. Probably next year sometime. So you still got to navigate these streets while this pandemic is happening for maybe another year. How do you do it? What are your thoughts? What's your plan? I mean, like, how comfortable are you meeting somebody in any space you meet them in, and now you're dating, you're kissing, you're having? I mean, like, how are you navigating this? What are your thoughts, Keisha? Look like you're ready.
Cautiously.
What'd you say?
Cautiously.
You got to give me more than that.
I guess, you know, once you're having those conversations and virtually, maybe you feel comfortable, then you move to seeing each other in a social distance space. I haven't been there yet, so I don't know what that looks like. I am dating a couple of guys from the apps that I'm on, but I haven't gotten to the point where we're like meeting up, so I don't even know what that looks like yet. It's a little scary because you do think about those kind of things, you know, like there's no hugging, there's no hand holding. For me, I'm a little more cautious. I know people are getting out, but I take care of my mom, so I'm super like, hold on, how many people are you seeing? Where are you going? Like, some people are going back to work. Right. So, you know, I don't know. I don't really know the answer for that. I hope that we can just both be safe once we are able to meet. I think eventually, like, maybe going outside, social distancing, like, you know, a picnic or outdoor brunch or something like that, I'll be open to that, but it hasn't come up yet.
Gotcha. Danny?
I've actually met people during COVID, but I've been cautious. But I figure if you're like, well, I'm gonna date, you're risking it anyways, no matter what. This is my opinion. But I've done stuff where you got to be creative. Just go to the park, take your cooler, grab some wine or drinks, whatever. Order some food, take it with you. I mean, I'm not willing to go to a bar. I'm not willing to go to a restaurant. I'm not doing any of that shit right now. But I have met people, you know, in real life during COVID, and, you know, you wear a mask at first, but then it's so complicated because, I mean, I think we all, we don't even know what it looks like. It's not like we look at someone and say, "Oh, you got COVID," but I think we all kind of like, well, we risk it, and I've definitely risked it. But yeah, I've met people, so
Yeah.
thank God I'm still like I'm not sick and shit like that. But
we haven't got
you're
anybody.
gonna date, you get
Out here
it's a
super-
law of numbers. I mean, what are you gonna do? Talk to somebody on the phone for 2 months? That shit gets boring. I'm like, let's meet.
Yeah.
You know? So you're risking it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's I was having this conversation with my boy the other day. I was like, hey, this is like, he was like, man, this shit is rough. Like, I'm meeting chicks online, but they, half of them don't want to meet me and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but the half that do, I ain't even really got to spend no money. Because you can't go nowhere, no way. So you're winning, bro. Take it. Is that wrong, Jennifer? I'm wrong for that. All right, Jennifer, you go ahead. How you navigating these COVID dating streets? Miss, my plate is full.
So I've gone on a few dates.
Where did you go?
So I went out to like patio restaurants
Mm-hmm.
a few times. It was fine like during the day. When it's not real crowded, that's cool. I've gone on walks. That's nice.
Free. That's what I'm talking. Free. Yep. Let's go. Keep moving.
Right. You bring the liquor, we can walk around. I'm good with that. It's cool. I've been on, quite a few dates.
Okay. So this
To the driving range. I think I find that men are more creative during this time, and also pre-COVID, a lot of men didn't really want to talk on the phone. During COVID, they have to talk on the phone because we can't see each other. Texting is not really gonna get the opportunity for us to know each other either.
Yeah, that's called jail talk. That's called jail talk.
Right, they call.
That's jail
call
talk.
more.
That's jail talk, sweetie.
Men call more now.
It's jail talk. Once the COVID's gone, shit's gonna change.
Jail talk.
I'm just
I love
fucking
it.
with you.
Let me tell you, Danny, shit
I'm
gonna
fucking
change
with
for
you.
me too.
I'm just messing with you.
Once COVID changed, shit gonna change for me too.
I'm playing.
Jail talk. I love it.
Just
Like
mess.
I ain't got shit else to do. Let me get on this phone.
Right.
I guess I'll call her.
Time's up. Hang up.
Right. And what's interesting is the virtual. Like I've found that men want to do like virtual sex. I'm not really about that. Like
Okay.
I think it's dumb.
Elaborate.
I'm not gonna do it.
Virtual sex.
Like
Tell me more.
it's so like they'll call you and be like, oh, let's FaceTime. I'm like, okay, let's FaceTime. And then like, oh, well, what you got on? No, Negro, we're not about to do that.
So this is just the next phase of phone sex. Phone sex is always a thing.
Well, I feel like if we weren't intimate pre-COVID, we're definitely not going to be intimate
Fair.
during COVID. Like,
Fair.
And I'm not about to be like, oh, look, yeah. I'm like, this is dumb. I said to one dude, are you 12? Like, no, I'm not. What are you? No, beat it.
Fair enough. TJ.
I've been on dates, but the dates are like you said earlier, like the cheap dates. You know what I mean? Like you just got to be creative. Like they'll come by my place, I'll go to their crib, or we'll go for a walk. But I think things can escalate really quickly given the situation because you're spending so much intimate time getting to know that person that you could find yourself in a situationship real quick. So I guess trying to distant, like I was distant at first because I got COVID. I was actually one of the people that had COVID early, right? And after I beat it, I was just like, all right, I'm out here. I thought I believed that I was immune to it, so
Right.
TJ, you got that Teddy Riley system going on.
I was reckless for a while, but yeah.
We can't hear
The
you.
Wi-Fi keep dropping.
Oh,
No, you good. You good right now though.
You good?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I was reckless for a while, but now I think it's just going to their crib, coming to my crib, and it's a lot of Netflix and chilling going on right now.
Okay. Interesting. Well, that means you finding women that wanna, this shit, they risking it all too. I mean, shit, as long as y'all on the same page. All right, y'all. So we about at our hour mark. I was gonna try to keep this around an hour. So, final thoughts, Keisha. Anything you want to put out in that world? Let your single and available 40-year-old ladies know, gents know.
No, I think just in dating period just comes with better communication. Just like I think everybody touched on being open up front to what you want and don't want. So then from there's no murky waters. Have fun, be safe, and I wish everybody luck because it's hard out here for a pimp.
It's hard out here for a pimp. True. Hey, Jen.
Have fun, like Keisha said. I definitely think that if more women went into it with an attitude like, I'm not looking for a husband, I happily say, I'm not looking for a husband. I have my own kids and I have my own money. So let's just have fun and see where we go. Men, I think, have a better attitude when you say that. And they're not looking to you like, oh my God, she wants to get married. She wants to have my kids. She needs my money. No, Negro, I don't need any of that from you. And I think that once you let them know that, they relax and you guys can get to know each other on a better level. And then if not, then you can determine where they fit in your life if they do it all. And if they don't, then kick them to the curb.
Damn. Can't you just say catch and release or something? Can't we be a little bit more jovial about this? God damn.
Pass them on to your friends who may appreciate their
Wait a minute. Hold on. That's a great, hold on. Before we get off.
I do that.
Are you open to that type of thing? You meet somebody, it don't go down, nothing happens physically.
Girl, let me introduce you to this dude. He wasn't for me, but you don't mind some little small kids or,
That's what we
might like.
Trying to pass off to you, Keisha.
What?
Wait, what?
One of her failed dating situations off to you.
That's what she was talking about earlier. I got the perfect guy for you. He wasn't for me.
No. I've never dated him. He's a good friend and he's a workout junkie. Keisha, I'm hooking y'all up.
But I feel like people used to like introduce their friends, and like people who were like married used to like have single guy friends and would introduce their girlfriend. That doesn't happen anymore. Why not?
I look at that as a good sign, though, because when they don't hook you up, they'll tell you that he ain't shit. Like, you don't want him, and that's a good sign. I'm like, thank you for telling me.
That's true too. Danny, what were you gonna say? You said it still happens.
It happens. I mean, I think that's one of the best ways to meet somebody is through a mutual friend. It does happen.
I agree.
It does.
I'm
not that often, but it does.
Yeah, I've been prone not to do that because not so much because my boys ain't shit or my girl ain't shit or whatever the case may be, but in the inevitable case it goes left, and 99% of the time it's gonna go left.
Right.
I don't want no parts of that shit.
Right.
I don't want nobody blaming me. I don't want that friendship crumbling. I don't want to be like, you ain't tell me that motherfucker wore panties. I didn't know that nigga wore panties and shit.
I agree.
So I don't want any parts or none. When I was younger, I didn't think about that. As I'm older, now I really value the people that are close to me in my life, and I want to keep them close to my life. So I avoid all that shit. Now, if y'all meet at a party, now what I will do, I'll have a party and then maybe introduce you guys, and then where you go from there, you go from there. So at the wedding.
But Brian, if I asked you, is he a good guy? Are you going to be honest?
Absolutely. And I'll let them know I'm being honest. Well, here's the catch-22. Here's the catch-22. If you ask me and my guy has stated some for real interest, like, oh my God, this one was amazing, blah, 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 I might hold back some of his past transgressions because I want to give him a chance and you a chance to really get to know each other. Unless I know he's on complete and utter bullshit and he said, oh man, shorty got a big ass. All right, yep, nope. Yeah, he ain't really. he ain't really. But what I will say, I won't throw him under the bus. What I will say is, no, he's a good dude. I'm not sure where he's at relationship wise. I'm not sure what he's looking for. He might just be looking for a good time. I don't know. You all have to have that conversation, and then I'll leave it at that.
Got it.
TJ, any final words? Why your internet seems to be acting right?
Yeah,
It ain't
let me say this
acting
real
right.
quick. I just think that,
No.
go in a day with an open mind. Also understand and be flexible with what you want out of a relationship. If it's just sex, then understand that sex could lead to maybe a relationship. I've had relationships with one night stand, so don't limit yourself to just looking for marriage and things like that. And be open to everything across the spectrum, but also be honest with yourself too, and be honest with yourself about what you're willing to accept.
That's fair. Be honest with yourself. I don't think we can end on the. Yeah, I don't think we can end on a better note than that. Be honest with yourself. All right, y'all. This is fun. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all joining and being here. I appreciate everybody that watched. I'm sorry. I really got caught up in the conversation and didn't look at my Facebook feed at all. My bad. I'm usually better about that.
I look. They were well behaved.
Good for them. Finally,
You think? Wait. You think?
Hey, thank you guys for joining. For real. Everybody, again, remain safe. But go out and have some fun. For real. Jen's out there golfing. We've been talking about taking walks. We've been talking about maybe a little patio dining. Be comfortable with that. Do what's comfortable for you. But, get out there. Summer's not quite dead. Get a little sun. And we will see you on the next episode. Hey, everybody, thanks again for joining. See you next time.
Peace. Y'all be blessed.
Thanks, Brian.
No doubt.
It's hard out here for a baby when he's trying to get this money from the ring.
Go to rent. It's hard out here for a pimp. See y'all next time. Later.